Hey guys, thanks for tuning into another episode of Jack's Mechanics. Just jumped into this Astra. Customer complaint. It was maybe running a bit rough. Don't know, it's all a bit sketchy. It just got towed in by RAC. Obviously we have the maintenance light on there, which she was worried about. RAC came out, scanned it and said there's something wrong with the fuel pump. So that's pretty much where we're at. So 2.2 AH model 2007. I just literally drove it 100 meters. It felt like a misfire, so take it back to the shop and plug the scan tool in, go from there. Just load this 2.2. Just go into the engine. It is a good idea to do a full code scan, generally speaking, but for speed, just gonna do engine scan. So we've got fuel rail system malfunction. This thing, I believe, is direct injection on this one. P1191. Might go out of here. Just see what tests we have. I think the what I thought was maybe a misfire before is a bad engine mount. So just go through the data, just have a look if there's anything for fuel rail. Okay. So this looks like it's got pretty good rail pressure at the moment. Put that into a graph form. Might be a bit easy for you guys to see. We'll do. Can select custom PID list. The reason we want to set custom PID list is just basically up the top we can see how fast the counter's counting. It's basically like we're just speeding up the refresh rate of the scanner. Just holding my foot pretty flat. Just want to sort of see if it bounces around the feedback pressure compared to the desired. Giving a couple of snap throttles. Might just go back and see if we can have a look in the troubleshooter, see if we can see this code. I'm pretty sure the P1 codes are manufacturer specific, so don't think there'll be anything in here. Yep, that's what I thought. Sometimes I get confused, not always better for me to double check. I'll just go and have a look, see if I can find some code descriptions, and find out when this code sets or why it may set. Maybe it's too low rail pressure, maybe Maybe it does need a fuel pump. Maybe it needs a high pressure pump. Yeah, I'll just do some research and we'll get back to you. So I just pulled the top engine cover off just to have a look at the rail. Straight away, try and get you focused on that. Obviously a couple of broken shielding around the wires there, and it looks like that might be the pressure sensor for the rail. Can't see any other sensors on there. Also see that the engine computer is missing a bolt. Sometimes they get the grounding through that, so that's obviously not super ideal. Does have the other two. Yeah, not sure how. Obviously somebody's been in here working. I'll just go and do the research on the error code, and maybe that is our fix. Okay guys, so I must be blind. The pressure sensor is right here. This sensor or control unit is basically the rail pressure control regulator. It's like the suction control valve on a diesel. Just goes, sort of moves in and out, controls the flow in the rail. So that's not gonna, I mean, I guess it maybe could be our issue still. Looking on the automotive technician website, looks like there's a lot of dramas with the high pressure fuel pumps on these things. Seen one bulletin about the hydraulic oil in here not being full enough from factory and causing dramas. So I think what I might do is drive it again and hopefully get it to play up and check these fuel pressure readings and see what actually happens. You can tee into the gauge here. I'm not sure. That might just be the low side supply to the pump. Looks like it is. And then high pressure out here. So obviously we'll check the low side and make sure that that's working. Basically, if it's low pressure after we have good supply, and we're probably just going to call this, repair the wires on our pressure regulator. Everybody is saying to replace the regulator, so we'll probably just throw a sensor in it as well. I'll take it for a drive and see if we can get this thing to play up. We've just got our low supply teed in, just onto the Schrader valve. Bouncing around a bit, but we've got good pressure there, 60 psi. We're looking at a high pressure feed here. I was just wiggling the wires to see if it would cause any change on the scan tool, and it did not. So I think what we might do, I might just get somebody in the car to sort of load it up, put on the brake and accelerator, and just see if we can get this to play up. So our feed pressure up to the high pressure pump is going to be about 60 psi. Idle 400 to 440 kPa, or around 4 bar, and that's exactly what we've got. So provided that I can get this to play up, which is not really wanting to do at the moment, and the customer said it only has happened once or twice, I believe, making this a bit of a battle. So obviously supplying really good pressure at the moment. Maybe a bit bouncy on the tail end of that one there. just zoom in a little bit. It's definitely not like perfectly happy, but you know, it's definitely not horrendous as well. It seems that the sensor is obviously doing its job, and that's probably why we've got the fault code for low pressure. She said it went into limp mode. The light on the dash has gone off, so just sort of a bit stuck. Would really like to confirm it, make sure the feed pressure is good while that drops off, and I don't have a pressure tester that will go that high, so unfortunately we can't actually test it at the rail. It might just, based off the other reports, I'm seeing a lot of it on the automotive technician. Seeing a few forums about people complaining about this stuff in the UK. Yeah, didn't actually find out what causes it to set the code. It obviously must just drop below a certain pressure and it turn that light on. Certain pressure for a certain amount of time probably logs that fault. Sorry about that, the video just cut off there. Got a bit of a bad knock in it when you get back on it. Just would really like to see this play up, but it's not looking like it's going to. I think we might just call it at that, guys. I don't think there can be really much else it can really be with this. I think we'll see what the customer wants to do. Recommend them a high pressure fuel pump, also that sensor, the pressure regulator. You know, I mean, there's a possibility it can be that, but like I say, a lot of it was talking online that there's a high pressure pump is the issue. So I'll do some calling around and we'll leave it there for the time being. So I've been given the go ahead on the fuel pump, and this is all I can really see on this seal. A bit hard for me to press it in, but there is a small, you can see that tiny little rip there. On the other side doesn't look too good either. So, well, I don't, you know, that first hole looks a bit suspect. I almost feel like it might have been bleeding out, a bit of fuel pressure through there. You know, like I say, I don't think she said it actually stalled, but you know, maybe we've caught it just in time, and very, very soon it was gonna stop altogether, or be in limp home mode for sure. So not too bad of a job to get the fuel pump off. Obviously got the pressure regulator off as well. Had a look at that, doesn't look too bad. The pistons, excuse the light, all didn't look too bad. A little bit of scoring. Did have some oil in the actual housing of the high pressure pump, which definitely looked like engine oil, or maybe just really old hydraulic oil. You know, maybe it's just 200,000 Ks and it's just sort of all letting go. Those seals obviously don't look great. That's the worst one with that. That's the only hole I could really see in it. The other ones were a bit worn on the outside as well, where we're seeing on this the first seal that I showed you. So we'll get a new pump coming, and also replace the pressure regulator and see if we can see anything afterwards, but I think that's going to be about it, just with some live data. Got the new pump and regulator on this one, guys. As you can see, a couple of snap throttles, some high RPM. This is just while in the workshop. I'm going to take it for a drive and confirm that it's still doing the same. It's still fixed. You know, obviously with really intermittents like this, it can be really hard, and we can only sort of use the data that we have, whether that's in front of us or you know, on the scan tool, or what we can research online. It's all part of the diagnostic process. It looks to be, you know, a lot more matching the desired and the actual fuel pressure readings, which is a bonus. Obviously, we've seen those little slits in the seals. There was a little bit of scoring on the I guess you call it the piston. I'm not really sure about the high pressure pump side of things. I've never really pulled one apart. Sort of almost looks like a piston in there. Is a little bit scored, and yeah, that seal, obviously having that small pinhole is not ideal. We did make the customer aware that, you know, we haven't replicated the fault, so yeah, like I said, we can only go off what we know, and we know that these high pressure pumps have got issues. So not really a whole lot to show you on this one, but hope you took something away from it, and yeah, we'll catch you in the next one, guys. Thanks for that.